Good evening. First of all, a important statement. The Moors will never, ever take the Iberian Peninsula back. And with that, welcome to another episode of When Gnomes Attack. How are you, sir? Can you hear me?
Hola, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hola, how are you?
I'm pretty
I
good,
can
thank
hear you
you.
very well.
Awesome, awesome. I'm back in the northern mountains. So, I was going to
Mhm.
say that maybe my lighting will be a bit worse this time, but I decided that I'm going to be using Photoshop. How's that?
Photoshop. Wow.
Yep, I bring this to this new edition of the show.
Wow. I mean, let me see if I hear this. Let me try and hear this correctly. Photoshop, as in the digital program that allows you
Mhm.
to draw on a computer. Yeah, is that exactly what we're going to be using tonight?
That's right. I'm going to be using Photoshop and I'm going to be sharing my screen so everyone can see how I design a character for this wonderful show.
Okay. Well, this is a complete new thing.
Mm,
And have you tried this before?
oh yeah, no, several times. I don't know if you saw it, but I fully painted a page for Artemis Worm's new Necromancer volume,
Uh
and
huh.
I did it on Photoshop.
Okay. No, I mean, have
Mm.
you used it on a stream, live on a stream?
Actually yes. I used to do drawing live streams, which draw, no pun intended, quite a few patrons, but I haven't done that in a while. So I may
Okay.
be rusty, so bear with me.
Well, I have to apologize, but I'm always completely out of the loop. Yeah, the only time I actually come on the web on YouTube is when this. So, I'm sorry I missed some of your other streams where you've done that, but what the heck? Let's try.
It's okay.
It's
Eh, It's okay. You
gonna be
you
quite interesting.
shouldn't come to Twitter unless it's completely unavoidable. Stay away
Well,
from that place.
Twitter, unfortunately, because it is unavoidable, I'm there every day. But YouTube
Uh,
only as a customer, but only a couple of channels. Anyway, let's bring in a guest that I have here this evening. Sorry. Oh, COVID.
Hello,
Hello, how are you, sir?
I'm
Hola.
good. Thank you very much. Are there Lewis? Hi there, Canales.
What's up,
Yes,
man?
I have Ibai Canales here with us, and you know what? Let me take this thing off because he's getting in the way of where is the? There we go. Let me just take this thing off. There you go. Now we can see. Now we can see your name.
Wally Ha.
William Mazel. So listen, I can never pronounce the name of your of the hero of your book. Is that
Yeah,
supposed to be Elisa, isn't it? But it's actually Hailsa. Hailsa? Am I saying it
it's
correctly?
it's Ailsa.
Ilsa.
So
Okay, so
imagine like a flagon of ale,
uh-huh.
right? So Ailsa.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So the
So
I is mute. I only start reading it from the I. Is that right?
yeah,
Ilsa.
Ailsa. Yeah.
Awesome. And I invited William here. I mean, I've been wanting to have William here for a bit because I mean, he's got a bit of an history with horror comics, and Ilsa Dark is his latest, right? And he's basically a heroine that fights supernatural creatures. So I think
Yeah.
you probably know something about gnomes. And tell me, are trolls evil gnomes? Isn't it how it goes? I mean, gnomes are benign creatures, and trolls are evil gnomes, but they're all the same
Yeah, I
family,
think
isn't it?
so. Yeah, I think so. I think there's a definitely they're related. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I hope you're a specialist. I want details. Anyway, I'm
Details
gonna
on trolls and gnomes.
now.
But
Let me just check something here with Canales, though. Canales, I need to add your secondary screen to the stream. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's do that. Boom. Okay, so is this what you want to see? Yeah, yeah,
Yep,
you're
yep,
there. Very
that's it.
good.
Yep. Now I'm going to click here. I'm going to open an A4 size sheet,
Hmm.
and I only need you to tell me which character are we going to be designing today, so I can, name the document after it, or her,
Oh,
or whatever.
okay. Well, it's like this. Today, obviously, it is 9/11. 9/11. So, it's how many years has it been now? 2001. So,
19 years.
19 years. 19 years. Uh, so again, in honor of all the ones that unfortunately perished on that day. So today's is one of those momentous occasions. Um, I mean, we had discussed that maybe we should do a couple more gnomes. I wanted to do a short one today. Really, I don't want to drag the live streams too much for more than an hour and a few minutes. But maybe we can squeeze two in. I thought, and I got to apologize to William, but first of all, let me just bring you up to date as what we do here on
All
Friday
right.
night, or what we do, try to do on Friday nights. Sometimes we do it on Saturday
Try
nights
to
as well.
accomplish.
Right. Okay. Well, you know what? Um, Before I get to the Gnomes Attack, might be worth mentioning that I just happened to read finally just a couple of weeks ago Space Force, Trump's Space
Oh,
Force, the
nice.
comic book. Oh my god, I got so many books here. But the team lead, Timothy Leam comic book. Um, and just a quick little review, just as a segue to the Gnomes Attack. I gotta say, I was disappointed by it. I mean,
Really?
Timothy. Yeah, I mean, Timothy Leam's lines are fine. They're great. They're fun. Quite jovial, I would say. That's probably the right word for it. Brad Smith colors. It is what it is. I mean, Brad Smith obviously is a fully accomplished colorist. I think he's actually downplaying himself a little bit just to suit the lines, and that's perfectly fine. Chuck Dixon comes in. I mean, really, I don't see anything there that couldn't have been written by anyone else. Not as a detriment to Dixon's work, but what I found funny about Trump Space Force, apart from being a very slim book, not just slim in size, but slim really in content, it's really just a little propaganda piece, isn't it? It
Mm.
really is just a little propaganda piece, and I think it's fine for what it is. It's just that I thought I was going to get much more than what he actually was. As my slight disappointment with it. I mean, it's kind of a one line joke. It's,
Hmm.
is what it is. I mean, I don't know
You
if
you
any
were
of you guys.
you were expecting maybe some satire in there, something a bit deeper.
Well, there is satire. The thing is that I was expecting a little bit more meat on the
Yeah.
bones. I mean, it's just he feels like a very small rack of lamb, or like a pork chop that has already been half eaten. So, but anyway, picking up on Trump Space Force, and the reason why I call it a little propaganda tool is that when Gnomes Attack is our own Trump Space Force. Basically, it
Okay.
really is a propaganda tool. Basically, he basically follows the same path. It treads the same line. It really is he's not so much a political statement, but he's a take on the liberals. Now, when Gnomes Attack is a project that we're working on, and the plot, it's just a few lines. He's a group of obnoxious people, all of them really two-dimensional characters that get stuck in a house that is demonically possessed by an entity killed many years ago in the Middle Ages, that decides to return. And the gnomes, the garden gnomes that they have, are some of the objects that in the house going to become sentient, take over the property, and start killing all these characters one by one. So what we've decided to do is create a bunch of characters that really symbolize a lot of elements, a lot of foot soldiers in this current culture war, so to speak. Um, so if you haven't been actually following our streams, you can go right on this channel to the beginning of the When Gnomes Attack streams that we started doing like a couple of months ago, 3 months ago, and you can actually see us and Canales doing the characters one by one. And eventually, when we get to the pages, we're gonna do the pages here as well, and time permitting, Canales time permitting.
Mhm.
And eventually, then when we have enough stuff, we'll hopefully do a little campaign and get this project fully funded so it can be finished. Now,
Cool.
the idea of the Gnomes Attack is that we don't really want any boundaries in terms of plot lines. We're gonna go for a full R-rated graphic novel, 40 something pages, black and white, trash as it can be, silly, gory, and we're really pulling no stops on this. So that's basically the idea. Now, in terms of characters for tonight, well, given that it is 9/11, I was thinking maybe we could do, and I'm gonna start sharing the screen here on my side now, just so you can see the character sheet that I have here. I can just share my word processor here. Now, Canales has a copy of this. We went through most of these characters here: Claudia, Mark, Samantha, Robert. They're really fun characters, weird but fun. And today, I think we should do Abdul Kamaru. What do you think?
Dude, come out. I like the idea. I like this. This guy is going to be our own Shaun King, except he's not going to be white.
No, it's not going to be white. I'm thinking. I can't remember. The previous guy we did was the Pardieu. Did he add some glasses, like some thick rimmed glasses?
He did indeed. He did indeed have glasses. Let me check. Yeah, yeah. I need to scan them, right? I send them to you.
I think so, but I forget
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
obviously there was Mark as well, and Mark I think was also is a spectacle user, and spectacles user, and they both had goatees, I think. So let's avoid that with Kamak. Let's just make him short haired, no stub of any kind, just nice, clean shaven, no glasses, well dressed. I mean, Kamar really is a simple man, working man. He shouldn't have much bling and blank to him. I
I
mean,
know
give your own
he just
take to it.
wants some couscous and his 75 virgins. That's all he wants from life.
All I would say is that he's in his 30s.
All right.
Different from the Pardio, which was a slightly older guy. Um, I mean, you guys probably can see it here, but anyway, this is just a template. I'm just going to stop sharing this. So,
I like the look of Depardieu. That's,
okay, yeah, the Pardio. Again, I mean, it's a question of just checking out the other streams that we've done, and while Ibai gets ready, I mean, you got to choose your brushes and all that. So just before we go on to your work, you can start anytime you want. I think you have to
Already
open your
have, actually.
A4 and all that. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, it's still black the screen. That's why I'm mentioning this. Just
Oh,
let.
you mean on my part?
Yeah. I mean, it's. I can see the Photoshop frame,
Oh,
but in the middle is still dark. So just to let you know, because
okay.
sometimes we have these glitches.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing and maybe try to share again. See if you can see the process.
yep.
Give me a second.
In the meanwhile, I'm.
yeah, I get these problems with Photoshop. Sometimes it shares the application, but not the window. It's a bit strange.
So in the meanwhile, I'm just gonna go here and share a bit of William's work, Hilsa Dark. I'm trying to type a Hilsa and I type Hilsa. Stuck in it.
AILSA.
Yep,
Ilsa.
that's it.
Ilsa Dark.
Hilsa Dark. Indiegogo, right? I mean, that's
It is
the only
indeed.
place I can see it. You don't have a. Do you have a website with your? I think you do, don't you?
I think I have a website, but I tend to do everything on Twitter. There's a Facebook for Ailsa Dark, and I've got an art page on Facebook. But most of the traffic that comes to Indiegogo comes through Twitter and YouTube. So that's where I concentrate my efforts now.
Yeah, but I think I've seen a webpage just dedicated to your work. But anyway, let me just put.
Yeah, you will have, because there's one or two that I've put up there. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, Canales, I can see a white sheet of paper, a digital white sheet of paper. So there you go.
Okay,
That's
we're making progress now. You can see how Yeah, I think you can named it Abdul, and I'm actually drawing a pig, but for some reason, the share function update on real time what I'm doing. So I guess I'll just have to stop share and hopefully it will update somehow.
Oh, I see. Okay, so we're not going to be able to see it live. You're going to have to. I can see your cursor moving live there. To be honest, I just
Yeah.
Can you see my cursor here?
yeah, the cursor
Yep.
I can see it on the black of the screen, and now on the white of the page I can see it.
And you can just see the lines now.
No, are you doing a
Oh,
white line or a black line?
man.
Hey, it looks like you're doing a white line, man, by the template there you got on the right side of the screen. On the
This is
Whoa,
why
there
I
it
hate
is.
computers. This is why I
now I
hate
can see.
computers.
Now it's happening.
And
Yep.
I know
All right,
it's mutual. I know they hate me too. That's why this is happening.
now there is indeed some sketchy black lines. Lovely. But
Oh,
while
okay.
while we keep this here, I'm gonna try and squeeze in again my own screen so it can just show a little bit of William's work. So yeah, so it's you like this stuff, right? You like the horror stuff, yeah? I mean horror
Yeah,
with
I like the
satire.
horror stuff. Yeah, that's the old. Well, that's the old campaign, which
Hmm,
I closed after it was in demand. I closed it as soon as I was ready to fulfill it.
yeah.
So it's now I've got like the what you call it, the mailing list up for the next campaign,
Hmm.
and I wanted to do a comic book that was like an old school 1970s horror comic, so like that's what I did. So I set it in Glasgow, which is where I'm from, Glasgow, Scotland, and I wanted to have this idea of an unreal, crazy world where there's all these creatures that are like living amongst us. And we have this character, Elsa Dark, who she protects both us and those creatures. And it's she's based on the idea of like, what if you had somebody who was a late night horror hostess like Elvira, and then that was like their Clark Kent persona, and what they really
Mm,
did was they would take that makeup off and then go out into the street as themselves, and they would fight against these creatures, keeping the peace and protecting us from the dark forces out there. So that's the whole idea behind it. And the
I
first
see.
campaign was successful, was funded, and I'm hoping the second campaign kind of like does even better, because I've proved that I can fulfill a campaign and get the work done. There was 3
Mm,
comics that I did in the first campaign, and they're all going to be available in the second campaign as well,
cool.
so everybody can catch up.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. And tell me, what is this thing with the 3D glasses, man? You've done like a
Yeah, that
lenticular kind of
that
a
was a stretch
printing?
goal that we got to. I have this character called the Tatty Bogle Man, and he is a Tatty Bogle is a Scottish word for a scarecrow.
Uh-huh.
So he's a Tatty Bogle Man, and what he really is I used to do an anthology comic called Tales of Mystery and Imagination,
Hmm.
and I needed a character who was like the crypt keeper from the old EC comics. So I created this character that would introduce the stories. But I
Hmm.
liked him so much, I gave him his own story and his own origin, which was kind of like a Hammer movie or a Wicker Man film
Yeah.
combined. And so for the stretch goal for this, I kind of rejigged his original origin that I'd done and made it work as a 3D story. So
Right.
the comic book, the first half of the comic is in 3D, and you get the old 3D glasses with it. And then
Right.
I've reprinted the story in the back in black and white, just in case people can't see the 3D. So that was a stretch goal in the first campaign, which was
You
really
achieved that, yeah?
well received.
You achieved that stretch goal, yeah?
Yeah, achieved
Awesome.
that. So everybody got the first 2 issues of Elsa Dark, and they got the Tatty Bogleman 3D.
Awesome.
And it's going to be available as an add-on for
Uh-huh.
in the next campaign as well, so people will be able to get a hold of it, because it was fairly successful. A lot of people kind of got
Yeah.
back to me, really liked it.
Awesome, man. I love those gimmicks in indie comics, man. Really puts us always gives us an edge against the mainstream, you know? That's great.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, it's the kind of thing the mainstream used to do. They used to
yeah,
do these kind of things, but they
yeah,
just don't
way
They
anymore.
back.
were, when they were interested in selling comics and appealing to the public, not
Yeah,
not
Yeah.
interested in sucking their own dicks like they are nowadays.
yeah. That's the important word, selling. They're not interested in selling anymore. They're just
Yep.
interested in doing rubbish. Anyway, let me push my microphone away from my face. I like to start with this big ominous voice, but now let me. There you go. I'll let the guests speak. Uh, right. Let's. By the way, did you guys watch the Dune trailer? The new Dune?
Eh,
No,
eh.
no,
Yeah.
I can't really. I've got no interest in it at all. No.
Really?
Yeah, I just the chap who made it, because there's a chap who made the Blade Runner sequel, isn't it?
True.
And
And I gotta say, Villeneuve. I gotta say, I did
The new
not.
the new Villeneuve.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just kind of is it's earnest. He's definitely got some talent, but
Yeah.
yeah, but it doesn't really work for me. And I'm thinking June's going to be the
Yeah.
same. I think it's just going to be another slow,
Yeah.
not particularly faithful adaptation of the book. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, it looks promising, man. I gotta say, I was impressed. I mean, and I coming from me, I have to tell you, I did not enjoy his Arrival movie. It didn't do anything for me. I did not enjoy Blade Runner 2049, whatever it is. I mean, quite sadly, I did not enjoy it because the Blade Runner is one of my top 10 movies of all time. I mean, the top five is too much infighting there on the top five titles. My top three are always safe. I'm not going to say it because I don't want any arguments, but my top three are safe. The other two, number 4 and 5, there's a tug of war. But then between 6 and 10, there's quite a lot of flexibility. But Blade Runner is there. He's there somewhere in the top
Yeah.
10. But, I was really expecting something, and he did absolutely nothing for me. I mean, it was too long. It didn't give me anything that I hadn't seen before in the last 10, 20 years of movie making of this kind.
Yeah.
Cyborg-oriented crap, dystopian future crap. It didn't do anything for me. Was he trying to do something new? Maybe. Does it have his own tempo that is nice? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it seemed a little bit too, a few unnecessary things here and there. I just really have no opinion about it. But this one,
This personally, I thought it was better written than the first Blade Runner, because even though I love the first Blade Runner, I think the script is terrible. Like, to explain to Deckard what a replicant is, and
Mm.
he's supposed to be like the best replicant hunter around. And I
Mm.
thought this time, like, the script was better, but somehow I enjoyed it less. I thought it was like more boring, and the character,
Yeah.
you can really compete with Rocket. How can you top that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, we lost you there for a little bit, but I know what you're saying. The difference between the original Blade Runner and this one is that although they both studio pictures, the first one, it's a meeting of great talents. So you got both the director, both Hampton Fletcher doing the script, you got the actors, you got the whole crew behind it, right? You got Vangelis doing the music, you got the set design, the special effects, Douglas Trumbull. So you get all those guys that are great at each one and what they do, and they come out with something like that. It's a team creation, It's not just the vision of Scott, which as a director, for me, he always had too many downs. He had more downs than ups throughout his career. Although definitely his
I
first
think
movies
Ridley
are
Scott
his
is
best.
just as good as the scripts he gets.
He's a good visualist.
Yes,
He's good at putting it together. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and obviously he has a very direct and strong hand in the visuals of the movie. So I mean, from set design to concept design. I mean, he's a conceptual artist, Ridley Scott, originally, before he went into advertising. So the guy knows his thing. So he's the perfect guy for it. I gotta say. I mean, the movie came out perfectly. Obviously, you might, whatever opinion you have of the original Blade Runner, is still a great work of art. While this one, the new one, I mean, from top to bottom, it really is a studio picture. It's just ticking some boxes. And despite whatever talent Villeneuve might have, the whole thing doesn't add up. It doesn't gel. It's just, there's nothing there. It's empty. But I gotta say, I was impressed with the Dune trailer. I mean, I actually liked Dune very much, the novel. I sympathize with it personally. I enjoyed it, and I actually liked the David Lynch movie. He's one of those
I think the movie's
little,
great.
yeah, he's one of those little weird pleasures I have from the '80s. I like it very much. So, is it going to be the same? Well, I guess so. Is it going to be more of the same of the old movie than of the novel? I don't know. I think William. I think it's probably going to be more faithful to the book. To be honest, so maybe your
You think?
fears.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe,
right.
yeah, maybe I'll give it a look then. I mean, I liked the novel, and I liked the first two sequels that he wrote, and I
Hmm.
kind of lost track with the books after then. But as far as the Lynch film's concerned, I like it. It would be nice if he'd been allowed to do the cut that he wanted to do. But even as it stands, it's a very interesting and visual film. There's not another film like it, and so for that alone, it's worth having that film in the world. If you know what I mean,
Right. Yeah.
because there is nothing else quite like that film, especially from when it was made. Every other film that was coming out at that time, nobody would, in their wildest nightmares, have come up with something like David Lynch's Dune. So yeah, I do occasionally go back to that film and give it a watch as well.
Yeah. I mean, probably he's going to. I mean, Villeneuve. He's probably going to go back, or has gone back to the original plan Dune, which was to be directed by what was his name? That guy.
Jodorowsky.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think you're
That
probably gonna.
wonderful madman.
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, look,
That, that,
two.
that would have been a magnificent film if that's ever been made.
Oh, it's probably gonna go there. I mean, I'm not sure of the running time. I can tell everybody the movie is coming out on December the 18th. So it's a big Christmas release. Warner Brothers is actually putting a lot into this. If lockdowns allow cinemas to be open, because while Disney obviously has the advantage they can put all their Marvel movies into their streaming service and just charge cinema tickets, albeit only one per each subscription.
Yeah,
Warner Brothers doesn't have that advantage, so they're really banking that the cinemas are open in December because they're really putting everything into this one. I mean, I remember the original Dune project, not the David Lynch one, but it was something planned to be 4 hours long. Again, I
yeah,
don't know the running time. I'm sure if we go on IMDb, they probably already have the running time there. But I would suspect it's nothing short than 3 hours long at least. I mean, the David Lynch one, it was already clocking at 2 hours and a half, and Blade Runner 2049 was felt like 4 hours, although it was only 2 hours and a half as well. So and by the way, Ibai, I don't know if you wanted to refresh because when you touch the command keys are on the top, we can see Kamaru there in the back, but right now he's all white again. So,
Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing and then reshare, see what happens.
mhm. And
just to take you back a little bit to
yeah,
Blade Runner. What is your favourite version, considering all the different versions? And what was the first one you saw? Because I remember seeing the original version in the cinema,
oh,
and and so I kind of, for all its faults, I still really like the original version because that's the one that I saw first.
yeah,
What about yourself?
uh, that's a very nice question. Actually, I gotta say, again, I'm always a guy that goes for the artistic vision and not where the money's coming from. But with very rare exceptions, I actually have to stay. I actually have to stand next to the producer's decisions. And the producer's decision to have the voiceover, the narration by Harrison Ford, which I think Canales doesn't appreciate it very much. But I got to say, regardless of what he said, that Harrison Ford did a piss
Mm.
pouring job or whatever it is because he didn't actually like the voiceover, and neither did Ridley Scott, so they both didn't give a crap about it. I got to say, if that was the intention, then it didn't work because I like the voiceover. I think he's got the right monotone. He's a detective noir. He doesn't give a crap about his job. And hell, I gotta say, I like the original release, man. I like the ending, taking us out from that constant rainy world into like this mountainscape, daytime shots of him just driving away with Shen Young. I'm a sucker for that ending. I like the original producer's oriented version of Blade Runner. He's the only one I like. I couldn't care less for Ridley Scott's director's cuts. I couldn't care less about that crap of him recutting the movie for the next 30 or 40 years. I mean, I always say that the original versions of the movies, when they come out, it's the version that should stand. You know, I mean, the
Yeah.
original Roadshow version of Fantasia. That's it. That's what Walt Disney wanted. That's what the movie is. The original Blade Runner, what is another one they kept on recutting? Star Wars, the original Star Wars. Isn't it the original Star Wars much
yeah.
better than all the crap he did afterwards, for crying out loud?
Definitely. All three of those movies are much better. Yeah.
I gotta say, probably the only allowance I will permit is in Empire Strikes Back Special Edition. They add in the Cloud City, they add a few shots, they're very short shots, when they're running around the set, and the original is just blank white walls, and they add a few windows where you can actually see the outside of the Cloud City. I will allow those ones.
Yeah, but things like that are they don't affect the texture of the movie and the feel of the story. So yeah, things like that are okay. I quite like that myself. Yeah.
I mean, you guys have seen the original version of THX and the special edition of THX?
I've never seen THX. Can you believe that?
All right. Okay. Well,
I wish I hadn't seen the special edition.
Yes. I gotta say, it's a difficult call on that one, but the special edition makes horrible CGI decisions. That just look completely out of place. Obviously, the original,
style, right?
Sorry.
That's just George Lucas' style. I mean,
Yeah, I know. But it really bad. I mean, they really take you out. But then again, it's only thankfully it's only a couple of shots. It's actually a sequence and a couple of shots. But apart from that, he actually manages to have put a little bit more drama into the sequences, simply because he really amps up the colors and all that. So I mean, the whole movie is devoid of drama, and is the whole point. But the scenes where there's actually some drama, they're amped up. And I gotta say, it's a difficult call on THX. Obviously, the original is better, but it's got more weight. I gotta say, but
what he loses when he goes back and does something like that is THX is a very low budget movie. I mean, you watch the original version, you can see how they managed to get around not having any money to create something. And once you start adding the CG, you lose that feel. So you lose the original feel. It's kind of like if you've seen Frank Frazetta returning to some of his paintings and redoing them, but painting over the originals.
Right.
He did that. He went back to some of his paintings. He didn't like them. He started painting over the original paintings. And it's almost like, no, don't do that, because the originals, you're obliterating them. That's what and I feel that George Lucas does that a little bit when he comes in and tampers too much. He's kind of obliterating what was the original artist's brushstrokes on the screen.
Yeah. Many
I learned that as a kid when I tried to redraw over stuff that I didn't like. When I learned to draw slightly better, and I learned that the end result was always worse because you could tell it wasn't organic. It was like it stood out like a sore thumb, so to speak.
I mean, which is a classic expressionist French painter that goes back to the gallery once the picture is already hanged, and he starts changing stuff, and the security guy went to him and said, "What are you doing, man?" "Well, I'm the painter." "Yeah, but it's finished, it's done." I mean, Renoir, I think he did that. Turner did that.
Yeah,
a series of them did that. Well, anyway,
that's weird though. But I suppose that's a case of like they don't have an editor's room or a preview audience the way a filmmaker does. So an artist would see their work for the first time in a gallery, and then they would start to see it differently. So I suppose that is quite an interesting take for an artist to have.
Mm-hmm. And speaking about gallery, sorry to interrupt you, but we have a finished work right here, done live from Ibai.
I'm sorry it couldn't be. I'm sorry you guys couldn't see the process live, but this is what happened. Maybe I can soon.
This was one that was cooked before, wasn't it? There you go.
Pull it out of the oven.
Oh, I see what's going
That was
on
great.
here. I see what's going on here. Is that the right fist? It is a right fist.
That is the right fist. I mean, it's supposed to be the right or the left. I never know.
I don't know. I think it's a. I don't know. I think you're right. I think they're using the right fist lately. Yeah, it's supposed to be the left fist though, but I think it's the right. Yeah, it's the power fist. So, oh, I see. You put him his tribal gear. Yeah, that's really cool.
I gave him. I don't know if that's called a dashiki or what, but yeah, I just googled Muslim shirt, and that's why. And I chose
That's
one
it.
of the results. So he's wearing this
Um, oh, I have to
tribal
say that all
outfit.
these concept art, we're gonna have these colored, yeah. So we're gonna put some nice colors on them, quite bright colors, happy colors. I mean, I gotta say that this, the whole story is set over a single night, and it's a party. It's a housewarming party, and all these people are gathered there together to have some fun time and socialize a little bit. So obviously, he's dressed up for the occasion. So I think that's great. Hey, zoom in a little bit more on these head. I just want to see the
Sure.
details there. They put him a little mustache. Okay, he really is arranged for the occasion. Now, Abdul Kamaru is a professional man, as I say. He probably works in IT. I mean, that would make sense. And obviously, these guys are the owners of the house, Claudia and Mark, which are the main characters. They're such liberals that they have to have all their token friends, obviously, and this is one of them. And are you going to ink it right now? Or are you going to leave
Oh
it
yeah,
like
well,
that?
I could try and ink it.
Yeah, try and ink it.
Yeah.
There you go. In the meanwhile, I'm going to share some other stuff here. As you guys probably know, you guys don't know. That's a problem. I'm a comic book figure collector. I'm an
Right.
action figure collector.
That's
That's one
an
of my things.
expensive hobby these days.
It is. This is a new storm that Hasbro has finally released. So anyone being an action figure collector should come to this channel because you never know when I'm going to start making videos about my huge collection that is all in boxes right now with all the plastic melting away. This is a new storm. I have a storm already from Marvel Select, which is done by Marvel Select. This is a new by Hasbro. I don't know what to do, man. I'm gonna probably have to change it. There's nice definition here in the abdomen. It's nice that they actually made a ring sculpted. Sometimes they just paint these things, but there's something very unimpressive in his figure. It's the chest. That's a really flat-chested Storm, man. I mean, not only is a flat-chested Aurora, but her thorax is flat. I mean, it usually should go sideways here. I mean, under the armpits.
Yeah, it does look a bit odd.
That's a variation of her. Okay, these comes in the box. You have interchangeable heads and hands. So obviously this is her in her vanilla pose, which is probably the one I'm going to keep her in. You can see that the cape itself is a regular cape. I mean, it's flat, falling down, dropping down. And here is a different cape. He's waving around, So you put these hands and you put the hair as well. I really hate these kind of hands and hair like this. It doesn't work in plastic shape, plastic form. The super, obviously our cape is removable. Otherwise, you cannot interchange that. And he's probably done the access to the cape. He's done probably through the head. She comes back with this guy, Thunderbird, isn't it? That's his name.
Yeah, is that the original Thunderbird from? Yeah,
that's the original Thunderbird. That the guy that only how many issues was he in? 5 issues or something?
Not many, no.
That's
Because it was supposed to be like it was one of those kind of like shocks, as in anything can happen with the all new X-Men, so they kill off a character that you're going to assume is going to be a main character.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, I think his head in this particular figure is a bit too big for the body, and it just looks like a toy. I hate in this kind of sculpt where when the arms bend at 90 degrees, they stick out, the elbow sticks out. Anyway, that's that. Now the big announcement. This obviously they show these things usually at San Diego Comic-Con. Obviously because this year they weren't actually live in the premises. They did a San Diego online, wasn't it? So the whole thing was released online. It was over the 3 days, wasn't it? I think so. They did some live Zoom sessions with some comic book creators and stuff like that. So there we go. We have the announcement of this. Now, you guys probably recognize the Hellfire Club characters.
Yep.
I'm gonna be all over this. This is actually an exclusive box which would have been available at San Diego Comic Con, but now obviously it's available online. Now I haven't checked the price of this yet. This is on sale right now for any fans of the 1970s run. Now I don't understand what is this head here. I mean, that's Jean Grey, obviously, but this
Yep.
head, is that supposed to be the Black Queen proper? But because that's not Jean Grey, is it?
Yeah, no, I'm not quite sure. It's been a long time since I've read that run, but yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember this in the Dark Phoenix saga. I don't remember anyone looking like that. So,
Yeah,
but that's great. I love that. And Sebastian Shaw, obviously. So he's
Yep.
got a Wolverine mask. I don't remember him ripping off Wolverine's mask. I would have to see panel by panel. It's got the Hellfire Club book. And now as we scroll down, boom. Oh, that's great. That's Emma Frost. Best ever action figure then of her. I'm going to be all over this action figure.
yeah,
That's a very good face sculpt.
it is.
I
He
look how
really looks.
How Sebastian Shaw looks slightly like Kevin Bacon from the First Class movie. I mean, the lower version.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't. Oh my god, such a big mistake. I think they have to redo the movie, isn't it? They screwed it up. Actually, Sebastian Shaw is.
Yeah. Everything leads back to Kevin Bacon eventually. So
Yeah, exactly. Everything leads back to Kevin Bacon.
We all come to Kevin Bacon, and so we all must return to Kevin Bacon.
Exactly.
This is not us. This is not Kevin Bacon living in our world. This is us living in Kevin Bacon's world.
Yes.
We're trapping
Hail the
with
bacon.
him.
Now, this guy was the android guy. I like this guy. He's really cool. But what is he doing with Magneto's helmet? Again, this is a nod to the Kevin Bacon movie, isn't it? The Magneto helmet does not have anything to do with this.
Maybe they're doing one of these things where you get every action figure set's got something unique in it to do with, and then they all come together. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no, the build figure. The build figure.
Or maybe just a selection of various masks and helmets. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, okay, I can understand the Wolverine mask is quite a little funny add-on.
Yeah.
That whip there belongs to Black Cat. That was the first figure that has worn that came packed in with that whip. Which is this something a Black Cat uses? I Black Cat, yeah, the Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks a bit more vicious, doesn't it, with the Black Cat?
In the Black Cat version, the whip is a silver paint, and then this here the cat paw.
Right.
Obviously, they packed in with Jean Grey here, the Black Queen, because kind of an S&M kind of thing. But it really is just a cat paw, so it was designed just for the Black Cat. But he's painting silver, so it's kind of given an idea that it's a metal thing. But I'm trying to think if she uses that in the comics. I mean, I have to go back and read all those books again.
I've only got the originals, which I don't really want to be taking out of their bags right now. So I need to get myself a collection. I don't have a collection. Yeah.
Well, I got the floppy issues, man. So every time I open them up, they got the smell of dust. Although
yeah,
it's
good.
Dusty,
it's a good smell.
Well, yeah, but they're inside the plastic covers, right, with the backboards and all that. But is that old smell, of books?
It's like a kind of musty vinegar smell.
Yeah, that's the thing, I always kind of, do I really want to open this? Yeah, you have to, isn't it? But that smell of fresh comic is long gone, man. Okay, this is how they compact, yeah. This is the box, yeah. So they're all lined up there. I gotta buy this. I have literally hundreds of figures. They're all supposed to be in these nice glass case, like a proper nerd, but they're all in boxes. And and these things, as they're conditioned with boxes, because obviously I'm anal about them. I wrap them with bubble wrap, each one of them, right? and some of the plastic used in these action figures gets it's softer plastic for some of the parts, yeah, like the hair pieces and all that, and eventually the capes and all that stuff, and eventually because some of the plastic used in these things is of poor quality, the plastic starts melting away with time. Inside bubble wrap, it just
Yep.
as a chemical reaction that I'm trying to protect them as much as I can because they're all piled up inside these boxes one against each other, so I actually have to put the heavier ones at the bottom, but then they start piling up, and because they're wrapped inside the bubble wrap, this chemical reaction happens, and they start getting stuck to the bubble wrap, and it's a bloody mess. So they're supposed to be in this glass case, which I gotta say is the only vice I have. Is just I do collect action figures. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about your
I have
vices.
several vices. I have several vices, and I have to admit, action figures are one of them. Especially
Oh yeah,
Transformers action figures.
I was getting to that. I see your book. Your
Yeah,
what's
okay,
supposed
yeah,
to be
okay.
bookshelf.
I
They're
forced
full of
myself.
Transformers.
I forced myself into the subject.
You forced it. Yeah, I know. You fudged it in. Yeah. How many Transformers you have?
I never post to count, but too many. Probably too many. That would be the correct answer.
Now, before William, I think William was pitching in something. I think he's going to tell us his vice. But before that, let me ask Ibai. Ibai, are they all the same scale? This is very important in action figure collection. I only collect one
No,
scale.
no. Yeah, no. I'm terrible for that. I'm compulsive. I'll see one in a store that I like, I'll buy it. Don't give a crap
Okay.
about if it's one or the Rise of the Titans or whatever it's called now. And I just know I like that Transformer. I gotta have it in my shelf.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, you're a cavalier with your collection. I understand that. Obviously, I'm one of the I'm a bit more conservative. I collect 6 inches. I never really. I mean, I tried to collect the little ones when I was younger, the 5 inches and all that. The Star Wars size, which is 3.5 inches, I think. And although some of them are very nice, but once they actually extract, increase the size, the scale, and all that, and they manage to extrapolate much more details and all that. So at the same time, as far as comic book characters go, the more traditional hero, so to speak, the guy that like Vindicator, that from Alpha Flight, which is just dressed in spandex. That kind of looks quite boring if you're making a 6 inch and a 7 inch figure out of it, because there's not much detail there, so there's not much you can do. So those ones work in smaller scale, but the guys that have a lot of detail in their design, well, they work much better in a larger scale, like Storm that we were looking at there. Storm has plenty of stuff you can present there, even though he's a simple design, he still looks okay as a figure. While Thunderbird, right? I mean, he looked quite, okay, looks like a toy basically. It really is that simple. But anyway, William, did you have any advice you wanted to tell us about?
I like eating out and drinking fine wine and whiskey, and that kind of thing. But no, I mean action figures. I have a few. Every now and then I'll get the odd action figure or maquette or something like that. I never really liked the Star Wars figures when I was a kid, because I was like 10 years old when Star Wars came out, and I used to collect the Planet of the Apes, the Mego kind of Planet of the Apes and Marvel and DC figures, all of which were just, I would play with them, so they were all wrecked. But when I saw the Star Wars ones, I was really disappointed at the size of them, because I wanted like a full size sort of action figure. But no, I think my vice is physical media for DVDs and Blu-rays. I just have so many of them, a huge collection, and I still get them, still buy them all. And I was just thinking the other day, I think for Hammer horror movies, there's some Hammer horror movies that I have about 6 or 7 different versions of DVDs or Blu-rays of them, and I'll get them just because they've got maybe a commentary that another version doesn't have. So I'm a bit bad that way. And the same with the Bond movies. I've got them all in all the different DVD Blu-ray releases and, wait for it, VHS releases as well. So yeah, when it comes to movies and some TV shows on Blu-ray, DVD, and yes, even VHS, that's kind of my vice.
Yeah. I mean, I have that problem as well with films as well. I started collecting them in VHSs. Then I obviously eventually, kind of they bend my arm and I start buying DVDs. Then I amassed a huge collection on DVD, and then I realized it looked like crap. As soon as I bought a bigger TV, I realized I couldn't watch the DVDs because they didn't look right. I mean, the later generation ones kind of almost stand up to scrutiny, but they're still low definition. So yeah, I had to do exactly what you did. I had to upgrade into Blu-ray, but then obviously I went a little bit more, more choosy. I cherry pick just the stuff that I really care about is on Blu-ray. That didn't stop me though from buying a lot of Blu-rays. Right now, I mean, I actually I can watch 2 movies a day from my collection and go around the whole year without not having to repeat a single one. That's how much crap I have in DVDs and Blu-rays. So we're talking about 600 and something between TV series and films, and that's bad, man. I mean, come on, I got a whole storage room.
Well, I might have you beaten because I did. There's an app that I used a few years ago. We scan DVDs and it would put them into a database, and I haven't used it for a couple of years. But at the last count, I had 2,470 odd.
How many?
2,470.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I've got more now.
Official versions, official merchandise stuff. Yeah, like not copies or anything, not burns from the internet. That's all.
No,
that's all
I wouldn't.
Hard media. Yeah.
Yep, all proper hard media. Yeah.
For all the collectors out there, this is a Red Skull from Masco. Masco. This is great. It's perfect. I've been looking for the perfect Red Skull, never found it. Now these guys are done in a 6-inch scale. So for all the collectors there of the Marvel toys, the Marvel figures, which collect in the 6-inch, this is very important. Scale, Ibai scale. for all
I
the
know.
Marvel
I know.
This is the Masco. Now the Masco underneath this jumpsuit, which is proper material, is a very similar articulation of the Hasbro figures. It's just that they just add a little bit more to it by having a very nice little imitation leather for the boots, and then they have the jumpsuit. And for me, the Red Skull always needed to have a green jumpsuit. I mean, everybody else doesn't mind him being in the proper Nazi regalia. But I like him like this, and he comes with a blowtorch. This is pretty cool. Comes with a revolver. It's got the Infinity Cube or whatever it's called. Is it Infinity Cube? No, it's not Infinity Cube.
Well, in the comics, it's a Cosmic Cube.
Cosmic Cube. That's it, Cosmic Cube. And it has 2 faces as well. One face is kind of it's clenching his teeth a little bit with an open mouth, and it's got a raised eyebrow. And this is great because this is actually based on the original design of the Red Skull, which is when he actually used to wear a mask. It wasn't his face yet. So the head is a little bit bigger for the body, but that's on purpose because it is a mask. So so this is available. This is an expensive toy. I mean, all of these things are expensive. Us being in Europe, all this is considered as imports. I mean, each one of these figures, I always end up paying at least £30 for it, which is crazy. And this one is probably clocking in around £50 or £60. So definitely only for the collectors. So I got to go back to Canales. So what we're looking at, let's have a look.
Let me know what you think, what you you see, what you can actually see. I mean, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
I'm sharing my Photoshop. Can you see the finished product now?
No.
Okay, then I will share. I will try.
We can see the Photoshop now.
We saw the thumbnails before.
Yeah, we can see the thumbnails. Yeah, it's always
that's weird.
It's always when you hover over the commands at the top, then we can see it. Just we have a glimpse of it, and then it just goes away. So
yeah,
I never understood this.
It's mutual. My hatred for computers. I'm pretty sure it's mutual. So maybe if I share this, now this is still the pencil version. Share screen, application. Why not this? Oh, this is a finished inked version.
There you go. Okay, there you go. Let me make it full size,
Nice.
full screen. Oh my god, I'm scared of this guy already. Hey, he's an intellectual liberal, but somehow he's got a nasty vibe to him. That's great.
He's the kind
I
of
might
guy who
be
would write like an article on the defense of looting.
Yeah. Yeah, I still don't know I still don't know what does he do? Let me check. Let me go back here to the script. Incredibly liberal, as long as he's in favor of illegal migrants. Vegan, representative of the Muslim Brotherhood Association, and doesn't see his job. Well, it's up to you, man. I mean, I'm thinking IT. I'm thinking somewhere that because Claudia, the main character, is already a columnist for a very liberal left wing online magazine. So
I think it would be hilarious if he would be one of these like bad.
you cut off, man. I can hear you.
Ah shit. I think this may be a problem with my. Am I
Now
fading
I know
out?
what it is. They censored you. That's what it is. The
I thought you were going to
overlords of
say.
YouTube.
I thought you were going to say Batman.
I think he was saying something worse. Got cut
I was
off.
I was I was saying that this should be one of those Bangladeshi guys who give you tech support on your laptop.
Could be. But you know what? I think we're going to go one up. I think you should be a curator of a museum of a historical artifacts from the ancient Islamic world, like something situated maybe in Cairo, something like that. As we all
Nail
know,
bomb, like a nail bomb found in a bus station, for example.
yeah, could could be. He's the curator, the manager of the Cairo Museum. He's a bloody gangster. So so why not? Why not have this
Oh,
guy?
that'll be nice. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, I think he should be a curator of some sort of museum. Yes, that's what he should be because he will talk about that. I mean, I already have him scripted with him mentioning a lot about all these artifacts of the ancient Muslim world. So I think yeah, I think that's what it should be. But we'll get to that another time. So I think this is it for today, man. What do you think? I think we'll keep it at one character.
Yeah,
I think
I think this has been intense enough for our
it
audience.
is very intense.
Yeah,
I mean, I know you
that's
just came
a
back from holidays.
cracking
Is that
piece of
right?
work, though. Nice design.
Yeah, it's
Thank you,
nice.
thank you.
Now, yeah, again, William and everyone watching. I don't think we had many people watching. This was kind of an impromptu stream. I didn't announce it well in advance. But anyone joining now or anyone watching this afterwards, do go back a few videos before, and you can see all six previous episodes. Yeah, I think this is the seventh
Yeah,
stream we're doing on this. And you can see all the characters from the beginning. We usually have one or two guests joining us as well. And so this evening we had we had with us William Hazel.
Hazel. Yeah.
I screw up everything. I'm not quite there. I'm
I, I,
discombobulated.
I don't mind. I don't mind. People, different accents, different ways of saying things. It doesn't bother me.
I screw up the name of your book, Ilse Dark. I screw up your own name. I
I'm
screw up
used to
everything.
that. There's so many Americans that I've
I
been
just
talking
love
to.
to see. I just love
Can't get
to
it
hear
right.
people try to pronounce my name. They call me anything. People call me Ibai, Abai, eBay.
Yeah.
I just love it. It's nice. It's cool.
That's why it's
eBay.
easy to just go with Canales, because people can get that.
That's right. I mean, I'm so discombobulated. I'm not even sure I have underwear. But there you go. I didn't want to say that. But
It's my
anyway, thank you very
secret,
much
Cap.
for
I never
coming.
have underwear.
Yeah, well, that's how it should be. But William, thank you very much for coming.
No problem. Thanks,
And
man.
and you're planning a second campaign, is that right? But that's not up yet. I mean, it's only the pre.
No, I'm going to be getting it up. It's going to go live on Halloween, the second
All right.
campaign. Yeah,
Okay.
because I figure, I might as well. It's full on horror, so go live on
Exactly.
Halloween.
We
Yeah.
were planning on launching on Halloween as well, but we got to do a few pages before going there, isn't it, Canales? We got to do at least 10 pages or 12 pages, and we we want to do some of them live, as you go through the panels and all that.
Yeah.
But first, I gotta write more. I mean, that's the whole point. Obviously, Canales cannot do anything without me actually getting it on the paper. So I'm writing it, but I want to write as much as possible so I can kind of pick a few pages from here and there instead of just having a sequence of 10 straight pages. And then kind of choose a few ones and get him cracking on that. And right now, what you're doing, Canales? What books are you working on right now?
Well, I'm finally working on Iron Sights Part 3. And
Ah,
I'm also working on Necromancer Volume 2 for Artemis Worm.
hmm, okay. And that's it for now. Everything else is concluded, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I have several offers. So I try to squeeze a couple of pages for my customers every now and then. But yeah, those are the two main books I'm working on.
Okay. Now, what about Abductables too? I just remember that. Is that you this
Yeah.
time around?
Yeah,
Is this
that's me as
that's
well. I only got like the basic plot and the character Bible,
okay?
but yeah, I'm really excited to go back to that world. I really enjoyed working on the first volume.
Very good. And the Iron Sights 3, how many pages is that going to be? Is it going to be bigger than this?
Uh, I'm assuming it's going to be like 100 pages, like the last one, because again, I only have like an overarching plot and the
Okay.
first like 9 pages in detail. But yeah, Zach likes to give you stuff like little by little to keep you guessing, to keep you hungry.
Okay. That's a lot of work, man. And again,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to squeeze this project in the middle of Canales project. So obviously he's got these ones going now, which were already in kind of they were already getting ready to be cooked. So we'll see how this goes. We have a few more characters to go through, and then we just eventually start with some pages, but no measure pressure in getting to the bulk of the book just yet. But yes, I was planning getting this for Halloween, again because I think it's the right time for this book. But and these kind of political manifestos, getting back to the Trump Space Force, that can be done any time of the year, isn't it? Maybe November is another
Yeah.
good time to launch the campaign with the elections coming.
Right enough. Yeah.
All right, well, that's it, man. I'm gonna go for now. I thank you very much for coming tonight. I
Cheers,
wish you
guys.
guys a good evening for both of you. It's roughly the same hours for all of us.
Yeah, more or
Scotland
less.
is the same hours as here, and eBay Canales is 1 hour ahead, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm from the future.
Yeah.
What's
It's
happening in
freaky.
the
That's
future?
just freaky, man.
It is freaky.
Everything's fucked here. Don't come to the future.
Oh my god!
Thanks for the warning.
Reminds me of one of the Family Guy's episode. These Stewie and the dog. They just keep on coming back from the future. Like
Yeah, that was
one
good.
after another. All right, thank you very much, and thank you for anyone dropping by, and do subscribe to the channel so we can get some more of these going. Thank you, everyone. See you again another time.
Good night.
Adios.